Okay, let's talk about a skill that can absolutely change your relationships. I mean, both at work and in your personal life. It's called active listening. And yeah, it sounds simple, but trust me, getting good at it is a total game changer. So, let's start with the big idea behind it all.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Real connection, it's not about showing off how smart you are. It's about making the other person feel like they actually matter. And you know, the single best way to show someone you care is to just listen, really listen.
So that's the big question, right? We get the why. It's about caring. But what about the how? How do we go from just hearing noises to actually genuinely connecting with someone?
Let's be honest for a second. Our default setting is to think about ourselves, what we want to say next, our opinion, our story. But if you can flip that switch, if you can make listening your main focus, you get this kind of superpower in a world where everyone is just waiting for their turn to talk.
The cool thing is, there's a clear path to get there. It's got 3 levels. Think of it like climbing a staircase. We're going to start on the first step and work our way up to the kind of communication that really makes an impact.
So, let's start at the very bottom of that staircase. Level 1, the foundation. This is all about the simple art of hearing. I mean, before you can understand anything, you have to be able to actually receive the message clearly.
And right away, there are 2 huge things that get in our way. You've got the physical distractions, the loud coffee shop, a choppy phone call, people talking nearby. And then you've got the mental distractions, your mind drifting to your grocery list or, and we all do this, planning your brilliant response while they're still talking.
So the trick is to fight back against these. If it's noisy, maybe just say, hey, can we move over here? Or even just lean in a little closer. And when your mind wanders, and it's gonna wander, the skill is just catching it and pulling your focus right back to the person speaking.
And this is so much more than just a technical thing. When you really make the effort to hear someone, you're sending this incredibly powerful message without saying a word. You're saying, you're important. What you're saying matters to me. And that right there is how you start building a connection. Okay, so we're hearing clearly now. We're on the staircase. It's time to climb up to level 2. This is where we make a huge shift from just hearing to actually asking questions. We're going deeper to find out what they really mean.
Here's the thing. People don't always say exactly what they mean. They talk in general terms, they leave stuff out, they kind of assume you know the backstory. At level 2, your job isn't to guess, it's to become a bit of a detective and ask questions to fill in the blanks.
Okay, let's use a classic example. Your boss or a client says this to you. Fastest could mean a million different things, right? It's super vague. If you just act on that, you're taking a huge gamble. So instead of just nodding and hoping for the best, you ask a simple clarifying question. When you say fastest, what does that look like to you? Or is there a particular deadline we need to hit? See? Now you're getting to the real issue behind the words.
Here's another one we've all heard. This could just be a nice way of saying no, or it could mean there are real problems you could actually help solve, but you have no idea which it is yet.
So you just ask a simple, direct question. What are your considerations? It's not pushy. It just invites them to open up and give you the information you're missing. It shows you're paying close enough attention to care about their side of things.
And that brings us to the top of the staircase. The final, most powerful level. I like to call it the master stroke. This is where you communicate that you truly understand, and this is how you build some serious trust.
The key move here is called the paraphrase. Now, this is not just repeating their words back to them like a parrot. No, it's about summing up their core message, but in your own words. It's like the ultimate confirmation that you're both on the exact same page.
Now check out how this all works together. So the person says they have considerations. You use level 2 and ask, what kind? They tell you it's about budget and leadership approval. Then you seal the deal with level 3. Okay, so it sounds like the main hurdles are the money and getting the green light from the higher-ups.
That final step, man, it does 2 amazing things. First, it just vaporizes any chance of misunderstanding. They can immediately say, yes, that's exactly it, or they can correct you. And second, it makes the other person feel completely heard and understood. And that feeling, that's the bedrock of trust. And this chart just shows you the incredible impact. This isn't just some nice thing to do. Research actually shows that when you use level 3 listening, your influence in that conversation goes through the roof. You stop being just someone they're talking to and become a trusted partner.
So there you have it. That's the framework. It's a clear path from just hearing sounds to building real trust and influence. The final piece of the puzzle, of course, is actually doing it.
So let's just quickly recap the whole journey. Level 1 is all about getting rid of distractions so you can actually hear the words. Level 2 is asking smart questions to get the real meaning. And level 3 is playing it back to them to prove you get it and make sure you're both perfectly aligned.
So the real takeaway here is to make this an active thing. In your very next conversation today, I don't care if it's with a client, a coworker, or your partner, I want you to just think about this. Which one of these levels are you going to consciously try to practice? The choice is yours.